just even thinking about future modules, is there any particular takeaway you had in just by looking at the data in the video and the student work that you're thinking, oh, well, I could just like apply this across the board to like any lesson in terms of like a next step that you'd like to support with?
Just more anchor charts, I suppose. I have more anchor charts, a little more visuals. Not really good about that. So yeah, I think we need to do that for future lessons as well.
Definitely.
And equipping the students with like perhaps like mini anchor charts that they can have reference within their binders. Maybe just doing that, honestly, I think that would be far more far better than having them like all look in one direction at one of my walls or something. I mean, they have a 3-ring binder. I could just make copies of those anchor charts.
Yeah, and I think also that kind of goes off of what you were talking about with adapting the lesson, like with 3.4 when we were originally working on 3.4 before, or 3.5 before you switched to 3.4, is talking about making the lesson accessible to the students. And I think that that's exactly what you've been wanting to do too, is that differentiation piece of saying, okay, like this is a chart that everybody can have access to.
Exactly.
And it's not just like on the wall and we're not really referring to it. So I think that's a great idea. It's a great idea. Great. So I just wanted to ask you if there's anything that I can do to support you in that in this process of just making sure that you're providing like those visual aids and definitions in your lessons, making sure that students are able to access that. Is there anything that you need from me or would like support with in that process?
I don't know, maybe just like what would be visually engaging, like how to organize these charts.
Yeah, and I think going back to the very beginning of our conversation, you were talking about like, oh, I didn't feel like I was like fully internalized in that moment, and you said you had some sticky notes, like almost like having those prepared ahead of time, like in our lesson planning meetings, we can kind of sketch those out so that it feels really clear. And then when we practice, it's like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna gesture to the word multiple, and like here's my visual, and here's my definition that I have ready, and then here's my other word, my factor or whatever. I think that could also be something that that's like how we can make make that work. Awesome.